living down south. I.W.C campus. Love.
This is your girl Alina, you don't know it's all about I.W.C campus.
I.W.C. Rastafari there. Jack your sister.
I.W.C campus is your girl bad girl Cecilia. I'm rolling.
I.W.C campus. It's your girl Nikisha Bond. Better make sure you're I.W.C.
If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here live a great street sweeper." Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you today that I am your street sweeper. Members of the panel, members of staff, and students, I bid you all a cordial afternoon. I am Joelle Blake, a name which represents integrity, humility, enthusiasm, passion, determination, and to be adroit when making important decisions. I stand here today vying for the most coveted position of Executive Secretary of the UTEC Students Union, with the plan of reshaping and transforming, yet maintaining the image of UTEC Jamaica. Leadership consists not in degrees of technique, but in traits of character. It requires moral rather than athletic or intellectual effort, and it imposes on both leader and follower alike the burdens of self-restraint. Vying for an executive position of the UTEC Students Union, one may be inclined to ask what experience I possess. Experience is measured through opportunities available to expose oneself in applying initiative to accomplish a specified task. Experience through exposure may be thought of as life's fascinating teachers, for which I can attest. Through experience, I have held several positions, and to date, I'm currently the Vice President of the UTEC Circle K Club and the Secretary of the UTEC Students Union Academic Affairs Committee. These positions have empowered me, developing the soft skills in addition to fine administrative skills, which include communication, analytical, managing multi-priorities, and interpersonal abilities. These have all made me into a comprehensive and rounded young lady who is ready and willing to serve. I stand before you not seeking to defame or disregard other candidates, but only to challenge you to choose a leader that can take UTEC Students Union from where we are now to where we have never been, embracing the possibility of new solutions. As a leader, you are not required to be an autocrat in dictating orders, but to listen to the opinions and conflicts of all and be the solution, be the change. I am enthusiastic in my passion for change, and not just for the betterment of my school, UTEC, but for the country and the world we live in. It is with my experience, my exposure, and my knowledge that I give you the best option of the choice candidate suitable to lead undoubtedly to the best of my abilities. The quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. With this, I must ask, how can I allow myself to be influenced by the opinions of my peers? If I want to lead the orchestra, I must first turn my back on the crowd. Always looking forward and never behind, taking with me the dreams and aspirations of those that support a vision which will ultimately be for the betterment of the school's population, you, the students of UTEC. Over the years, many have vied for, lost, and won this prestigious position of Executive Secretary. But one must realize the enormous task that is affiliated with such a portfolio. As a prospective leader, I am not obligated, but find it indigenous upon me to be the voice to make that difference, the voice for change. Furthermore, I think I am in good stead for this position because of my ability to make the best of every situation, my willingness to learn, my drive to succeed, and due to the fact that my desire to succeed far outweighs my fear of failure. Muhammad Ali once said, "What keeps me going are goals." I believe that this is true for myself as well. If I have nothing to aim for, if I have no motivation, no dreams, and no desire, I would not be standing here for this respected role of Executive Secretary if I did not have these three things: motivation, dreams, and desires. When elected, I take up the challenge of not becoming a statistic, but rather an exception which supersedes ordinary. I challenge myself and my fellow peers not to fit into anyone's box, but rather to think outside of it. As your leader, I vow progression and not digression. I vow to seek avenues to implement and sustain a better learning system, not only for this generation, but also for those that will be threading behind. And as such, my objectives, if elected Executive Secretary, include ensuring the Students' Union Business Office is opened on time so as to offer convenience to each student. Create a customer-friendly environment where students are served promptly and precisely. To appeal to the comfort of the students while in the Students' Union Business Office. To ensure more diverse services are offered. And lastly, implementing consultation hours at the Students' Union Barn Office to strengthen communication between the union and the students. In closing, if elected Executive Secretary, I vow to dedicate my time, my intellect, and my manpower to any cause that will empower the building of better leaders. I intend to pave the road of destiny that those who follow may have a shining example of the endless possibilities that await them. On reflection, I believe Mahatma Gandhi said it best: we must become the change we want to see. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality, a quote by Warren Bennis. My vision is to equip the student body with the necessary tools to enhance themselves into becoming strong men and women of tomorrow. But tomorrow starts today. Great leaders are followers, and with that said, I have a vision, I have a dream, and with your help, I endeavor to transform this vision into reality. I implore you all on Thursday, March 27th, make the right choice. Vote Joelle Blake, Executive Secretary. I thank you.
In your speech, you outlined that you would, if elected as Executive Secretary, offer more diverse services to the students. Can you give me an example of what you mean by that?
Sure, no problem. Well, in these diverse services that I propose to offer to the students, I realize that more stationery can be implemented in the top office, as well as other facilities, including that of more pens and pencils, stationery stuff in terms of folders that need to be offered to students. Instead of them leaving the top office to go somewhere else to get all of that, it would be right there for their convenience.
Pleasant afternoon, Ms. Blake. My question to you is in regards to you making mention of seeing to the opening of the office on time. What strategy will you implement to ensure that?
Good afternoon once again. Well, in terms of the business office being open on time at 8:30, I'll personally make myself available at that time to ensure that students who need to be served will be served at the specified time.
Good afternoon. I listened to your speech. Very well prepared, very well delivered.
Thank you.
My question is, why do you really want this job?
Well, in response to that question, I believe that I'm suitable for this position, and therefore my passion is what drives me to serve students of UTEC Jamaica. And I believe in a leadership position, I will be better able to serve students in that regard.
I have one more question. There's a saying, you can find yourself in a position because you beg for it. When you find yourself in that position, and the UTEC students that I know start becoming demanding. The one morning you don't make it there 8 o'clock. And the gentleman was clapping his chest over there and coughing. Starts reminding you of your promise. And you have a choice between delivering a paper that means a grade and being there at 8 o'clock. What do you choose?
Well, in response to your question, sir, academia is very important. And as such, you have placed me in a scenario which is very difficult. And I appreciate that. What in a situation like these students, if there is something that I have to do in terms of a grade, an assignment that is due, what I would do is put someone else to fill that gap. Thank you.
All right, for some of the executive posts, there are more than one persons that are vying for the position, unlike the one that you are doing right now. Are you committing as a leader to work with any elected candidate for the Youth Students Union Council 2014-2015?
In response to that question, yes, I am. I am not leaning on any side in terms of whoever will win president. What I am here to do is work to the best interest of the students. So whoever is elected, I'm willing to work with them.
Good afternoon. I have listened to your speech and I have one question. There are some responsibilities that the secretary must fulfill. Can you outline 3 of those for me?
Well, the secretary must manage both offices of the union, that includes the top office and the barn office. She must also handle and record and the minutes of all meetings, whether general or council, and she must have a storage mechanism for the fixed assets. She must record all things belonging to the union.
I am now taking questions from the audience. I am now taking questions from the audience.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. In her speech, she outlined that her vision is to take the student union to another level, and she also alluded that she has a dream. What I want you to do is where would you see at the end of your tenure in the union, where do you see the students union, and what are your dreams? You can share them for me, please.
All right. Well, my dreams for the Youth Students Union is to ensure that the students are comfortable with the members of the body. There shouldn't be a gap between the students and the union. So if elected, I want to employ a communication mechanism by the consultation hours that I mentioned in my speech, where students should feel free to come and speak to any member of the union about any conflict that they have.
Any more questions for the sole candidate for the post of Executive Secretary? Okay, thank you, Ms. Blake.